Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees of Bhakti Sanga Japa Group. Thank you very much for assembling today to hear from Sri Caitanya Bhāgavata by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Ādi Khaṇḍa, chapter 9, verse number 140. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing the beautiful pilgrimage of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Tasabara Athithi Haila Shri Nityananda Badarika Shrame Gela Parama Ananda. Shri Nityananda Prabhu stayed as a guest, Atithi Haila, stayed as a guest in their ashram, in the ashram of Agastya Rishi. And then he departed in great ecstasy for Shri Badarika Ashram. Badarika Ashram. Katodina Naranarayanera Ashrame Achile no Nityananda Parama Nirjane. Lord Nityananda Prabhu resided in seclusion, Nirjane, resided in seclusion for some days in the ashram of Shri Nara Narayan Rishis. Tobe Nityananda Gela Vyasera Alaye Vyasachi Nilena Bala Rama Mahashaye. Then Shri Nityananda Prabhu went to the ashram of Srila Vyasadeva, also near Badarika Ashram. And Srila Vyasadeva recognized Shri Nityananda Prabhu as Lord Balaram himself. Verse number 143. Sakshat Hayya Vyasa Atithya Karila Prabhu O Vyasere Danda Pranata Haila. Srila Vyasadeva personally received Shri Nityananda Prabhu as a guest. And Shri Nityananda Prabhu offered his obeisances to Srila Vyasadeva. This is the Shishtachar. Shri Nityananda Prabhu is playing the role of a Naravat Lila, human pastimes. And Srila Vyasadeva is Bhagwan Vyasadeva. He is Jagat Guru. So Shri Nityananda Prabhu is offering respects to Srila Vyasadeva and Shri Naranarayan Rishis. These are all Acharyas. Naranarayan Rishis. They are the speakers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Vyasadeva is the writer of Srimad Bhagavatam, the compiler of other Vedas. So very great personalities. And Shri Nityananda Prabhu is visiting them and taking their blessings. This is the mood of going on pilgrimage. Why do we go to holy places? Why do we travel to India, to Vrindavan, or to Navadvip, to Jagannath Puri? To seek the blessings of the great souls who live there. They are the ones who make the holy place holy. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. Okay. So tomorrow is very holy day. It is not a coincidence that today in our reading of Sri Caitanya Bhāgavata, we are reading about Srila Vyasadeva, Sri Nityananda Prabhu visiting the ashram of Srila Vyasadeva. It's not a coincidence because tomorrow is Shri Vyasa Purnima. Tomorrow is Shri Vyasa Purnima, the day we worship Srila Vyasadeva. And tomorrow is also the disappearance day of our very great Acharya, our Sambandha Acharya, Srila Sanatana Goswami. So tomorrow is Vyasa Purnima and tomorrow is also the Tirobhav Tithi of Srila Sanatana Goswami. So let us hear something about Srila Sanatana Goswami to prepare our hearts so we can receive the mercy of Srila Sanatana Goswami tomorrow. We should pray to Srila Sanatana Goswami for pure devotional service, for purification of the heart, so that we can, with perfect, complete focus and dedication, we can engage ourselves completely in the service of Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. Srila Sanatana Goswami went to Shri Jagannath Puri Dham from Shri Vrindavan Dham because he wanted to meet Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This should be our nature also, that we always want to meet our Gurudev. We always want to associate with senior devotees to get their association so that we can get nourished to perform our services in this world. So let us read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Ante Lila, chapter 4. Sri Sanatan Goswami visits Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, verse number 49 onwards. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Srila Sanatan Goswami at the ashram of Srila Haridas Thakur. Srila Haridas Thakur chanted 192 rounds every day. We chant 16 rounds minimum every day. Srila Haridas Thakur's minimum was 192, and he would chant more than that. 64 rounds he would chant Vachik. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loud, clear, slowly, for the whole world to hear and get purified. 64 rounds Srila Haridas Thakur would chant Upamshu within the mouth like a whisper. And 64 rounds Srila Haridas Thakur would chant fast in the mind. Constantly. Just within himself. In this way, Srila Haridas Thakur would chant 192 rounds every day. And he would do Sankirtan. And he would hear Harikatha from Srila Gadadhar Pandit and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, in 15 hours, Srila Haridas Thakur approximately would chant 192 rounds. 5 hours for 64 rounds. And rest of the time, he would associate with devotees, hear Harikatha, chant and dance in Harinam Sankirtan, and preach also. Srila Sanatan Goswami was living with Haridas Thakur at Siddhabakul in Sri Jagannath Puri Dham. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met them and told them that both of you should stay together. Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur, you should stay together and do your bhajan together. Krishna Bhakti Rase Duhe Parama Pradhan, Krishna Rasa Aswadana Karalah Krishna Nam. Both of you stay together and you practice bhakti together. Taste the sweetness of Krishna Bhakti together and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra together. Etabali Mahaprabhu Uthiya Chalila Govinda Dwaraya Duhe Prasada Pathaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and left and told Govinda to give prasad for Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur. Jagannath Prasad. In this way, Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur, they lived under the care of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we engage in Krishna consciousness, if we engage in Krishna Bhakti, we have nothing to worry, nothing to fear. Krishna himself takes the responsibility of our maintenance, my dear friends. Krishna is maintaining the elephants in the African forests. They eat dozens of pounds of food every day. But Krishna is maintaining all of them. So why Krishna will not maintain his devotees? Why Krishna will not maintain his devotees? Anybody who sincerely practices Krishna consciousness, Krishna personally takes responsibility for their maintenance. So living under the guidance, under the care, under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur lived happily together. What do devotees need? They just need association of a devotee with whom they can discuss about Krishna, with whom they can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And 2 times a day, take some Krishna Prasad. That's all devotees need. Devotees are simple. They don't need Netflix and Spotify subscription. They don't need all those things. They're simple. Saralta hi Vaishnavata. Vaishnavas are very simple and straightforward. So they would take darshan of the chakra of Jagannath temple because both of them were not allowed to enter the temple. So they took darshan of the chakra and they lived happily there. Every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and meet them and discuss with them about Krishna. This is what devotees do. They come together, they chant, they discuss about Krishna and they take Krishna Prasad. Just now we were reading the quote of Srila Prabhupada. Kaumadaki Mataji and Vinita Gandharvika Mataji read the beautiful quote. Srila Prabhupada said today on July 12th that with our tongue we should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to keep vibrating our tongue, keep chanting 24 hours a day. Even when we go to sleep, we should fall asleep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. The normal tendency is people watch the YouTube or different TV shows before going to bed. People even have television sets in their bedroom. This is very unhealthy. This is not what devotees do. No. Going to sleep at night is like dying. Every day is a life cycle. Every day, please listen carefully, dear friends. Every day is like a life cycle. What is life cycle? Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Tatha dehantara praptis dhiras tatrana muhyati. We go through childhood, youth, adulthood, old age, and death. And then there is rebirth. This is described in Bhagavad Gita. This is our life cycle. Every day is a life cycle. We wake up in the morning, rubbing our eyes, yawning, that is birth. We get ready, prepare ourselves, brushing our teeth, answering nature's call, taking a shower, wearing washed, fresh, clean clothes. That is like youth. They are getting ready. They go to school. They go through elementary school, middle school, high school, college. They got a master's degree. They're preparing themselves for the life. So in the morning, we are preparing ourselves for the day by getting ready. Then we go to work. We go to work, isn't it? That is like our adulthood, where we work. In the evening, we come back tired. That is like old age. We are running low on energy. Tired. And at night, we go to sleep. We become motionless. That is like death. So every day we are going through life cycle. And we should live our day like that. Spiritually. What is the spiritual life cycle? A child is born and is trained by the parents in Krishna consciousness. The child is trained by Shri Guru in Krishna consciousness. He's taught how to chant, how to study Srimad Bhagavatam, how to study Bhagavad Gita, Caitanya Charitamrita, how to take initiation, how to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is all preparation. And therefore, these activities have to be done in the morning before we leave home. We get up, we brush our teeth, whatever we have to do, take a shower, and then we sit and chant for 2 hours at least. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 2 hours in the morning. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. depending on our schedule, what time we have to leave home. We must, 2 hours we must chant in the morning. On one asana, attentively. On Tulsi Mala. With our hands we are touching Tulsi. With our mouth we are chanting. With our ears we are hearing. In this way, we have to be engaged for 2 hours chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The body will demand, the mind will demand. Body will say, back is hurting, legs are cramping, you need to get up. No. Mind will say, let's check if there are any emails overnight. No. Everything can wait. Let me look at my schedule. What meetings do I have? Let me check. No. Everything is after 2 hours. 2 hours, it's only Krishna and me. Only Guru, Krishna and me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is called training the mind. This is called abhyas. Lord Krishna says, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha griyate. The way to control the mind is through practice and renunciation. Renouncing the phone, renouncing the emails, renouncing the schedule, the calendar for 2 hours. Renouncing other thoughts for 2 hours and practicing chanting Hare Krishna continuously for at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours every morning, 7 days a week, every morning, without any gap. Not that on the weekends we become lax, or Monday morning, oh, it's too much. I need a break. No Monday morning blues for devotees. Every day is same. Morning we get up, we get fresh, we wear clean washed clothes, we sit down, comfortable clothes, we sit down and we chant for 2 hours at least every morning. That is our preparation for the day. At least for 15 minutes, we should read Srimad Bhagavatam or hear Srimad Bhagavatam. When we are showering, when we are brushing, we should play some Krishna Katha, some spiritual discourse, and we should hear. It is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. In those 5 minutes, we can get so much nectar. It will keep us surcharged for the whole day. So we should have our selected list of speakers that we hear from. Those speakers should be pure devotees. They should be advanced devotees who don't have ulterior motives for speaking Harikatha. And we should hear from them. Devotees like Srila Prabhupada, like our spiritual master, like our Guru Varga. Very sincere devotees we should hear. 15 minutes at least we should read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam or Caitanya Charitamrita. And then we can go and do our work in this world. And while doing work also, whenever we get an opportunity, we should tune in and hear something Krishna conscious. We should always have Veda base open. One tab should be open. You want to take a 5-minute break? I know some friends, they work and on their schedule, they block off 15 minutes every 2-3 hours. So nobody can book an appointment in that time period. And it is their scheduled break. 8 hours we are working. So every 2-3 hours, you can take a 15-minute break. And you just chant one round. Hare Krishna. It takes 7 to 8 minutes to chant one round. And 7 to 8 minutes, you can hear some Krishna Katha or read something. Alternating. In one break, you hear. In the next break, you chant one round and you read. Next break, you chant one round and you hear. Next break, you chant one round and you read. So keep alternating. Swadhyaya and Shravanam. Reading and hearing. Both are non-different. Yet they are different. But chanting must go on. Taramadya Sarvashresh Nam Sankirtan. You must chant. Sankirtan means with all our focus and attention, when we chant, it becomes Sankirtan. Sankirtan also means when we come with devotees and chant, but Sankirtan also means even though we are alone, if we are Samyak Rupena Kirtan, iti Sankirtan. If with all our faculties we are focusing on chanting, that is also called Sankirtan. Tar Madhya Sarvashresht Nam Sankirtan. Nirapradhe Namalele Pabe Premadhan. If you do Nam Sankirtan, you will definitely get Krishna. It is the most powerful method, Nam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We should chant. Like that, we should go through the day working in this world, doing our 9-to-5 job, earning money to maintain our body, to maintain our family, and to give donations for Krishna's service. And in the evening, we come back and we are tired. That is retirement age. That is retirement age, 60 plus. What do we do in retirement? Till now, we were chanting 2 hours because we have family to take care of. We have work responsibilities. We have to study related to our job to keep ourselves updated. Otherwise, we'll become outdated in the job. New people will come with the new technology, new knowledge, and we will become practically useless. So we have to study. If we are IT professionals or we are MBAs or whatever, we are lawyers, doctors, we have to keep abreast with the latest developments. So all our life, while we are working, we have the excuse that I can't chant more than 2 hours in the morning because I have got things to do. But when we come home in the evening, it corresponds to retirement age, 60 plus. What do people do? What do devotees do after the age of 60 when they retire? They do more bhajan. They chant 64 rounds. Now there is no excuse. All my life I chanted just 20-25 rounds. That's enough now. No more of that. No more excuses. Now I have worked hard enough. I have saved for my retirement so I can live a peaceful life of bhakti. Now I'm going to chant more. Now I'm going to chant at least 64 rounds every day. Now there is nobody. I can easily sit for 5-6 hours and finish my 64 rounds. For most devotees, in the beginning, it takes 6 hours to chant 64 rounds. Now, tomorrow is Vyasa Purnima. According to many Gaudiya Vaishnavas, tomorrow is the beginning of Chaturmasya. So it is very apt that we are discussing this today. We must take vow. We must make a promise to Krishna. We must take vrat for Chaturmasya. Every opportunity that we get, we must use it to deepen our practice of Krishna consciousness. Why don't we take a vrat that from tomorrow, every morning for 2 hours, we will chant 4:30 to 6:30. We will chant. Devotees can come together on a Zoom call for inspiration. Bhakti Sanga Japa group has morning Japa sessions. You can join and chant with devotees with your video on, audio on, for inspiration, because we need each other. Basketball players associate with basketball players. They read basketball magazines, isn't it? Those who are car enthusiasts, they read all these automobile car magazines. They go for these car shows. They associate with people, have a tendency to associate with like-minded people because it inspires us in our vocation, in our field of interest. So devotees should associate with devotees. We should come together and chant in the mornings. Please join Bhakti Sanga Japa group and chant in the morning. What time does it start, your Japa, Mataji? 4:30?
4 o'clock, Prabhuji. CST 4 o'clock. Sometimes being EST devotees will join little early because their 4 o'clock already will be there. But scheduled is 4 o'clock CST. We just send a reminder. But some EST devotees join little early.
And it is the same link, right? The same link.
Same link, yes.
And from 4 a.m. to what time do you all chant straight?
6:10 greeting service start.
Very good. So see, you get full 2 hours and 10 minutes. So there is no excuse. Everybody can finish 16 rounds comfortably. Okay? Comfortably. So let's take a vow that every morning in this 4 months of Chaturmasya, I will wake up and I will join the Zoom. If you feel you don't need to join a group, you can chant by yourself alone. That's fine. That's also perfect. Many devotees can do that. You can do that. But if you need inspiration, if you need association, you can join Bhakti Sanga Japa group and chant 4 a.m. to 6:10. Take a vow that I will chant. Krishna, pray today. Sanatan Goswami, Haridas Thakur, please empower me. Srila Prabhupada, please empower me. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, please give me the strength. I want to do it. No matter what the body says, no matter what the mind says, we will not listen. For those 2 hours and 10 minutes, I will sit and I will chant. Very, very important. Try it, my dear friends, and then tell me what your experience is. Your whole life will transform by doing this just one thing. Just one thing. Wake up in the morning during Brahma Muhurta between 4 and 6, and between 4 and 6, don't do anything except chanting. Take your Tulsi Mala nicely. If you don't have Tulsi Mala, go to the temple today and buy it. Tomorrow Chaturmasya starts. Take a bead bag, take a counters, your Tulsi Mala, and sit on one asan. Take a cloth, keep it as an asan, a bed sheet or something. Just keep it as an asan to sit and chant in one place. Select a place in your house where there is no disturbance, and you should have a picture or the altar in front of you, which you can see while you are chanting. With your eyes, you are looking at Srila Prabhupada and Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Sri Krishna and Radharani. With your mouth, you are chanting. With your ears, you are hearing. And with your body, you are touching Tulsi. Aha. And it's all happening during Brahma Muhurta, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has promised anybody who is chanting during Brahma Muhurta, I will give him love of Godhead. So please, let us capitalize on this. This is like the Thanksgiving sale. This is like the Cyber Monday sale. You buy, you get discounts. Similarly, in Bhakti, you chant during Brahma Muhurta, you get discounts. Because that is a time to chant. Just like youth is the time to go to school and get educated. Get your degrees and diplomas. That's the time. Similarly, morning is the time to get prepared for the day by chanting. Chanting. Then reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Very important. Chaitanya Charitamrita, like we are reading now. Very important. And then we come home. it is retirement age. So what do we do in retirement? We increase our bhajan, increase our chanting. So my dear friends, in the evening when we come, we should hear some Harikatha, we should read, we should talk to some devotees, we should chant some extra rounds in the evening. We should go for a walk and chant. Or if we go to the gym, we are working on the elliptical, or we are lifting weights in the gym, that's great. Just keep your earphones on and listen to Harikatha. Listen to nice lectures of your favorite speakers. Listen to nice kirtan while you are working out. So your body is getting exercise and your soul is getting nourished, because it is retirement age. Evening is retirement age. During retirement, we deepen our practice of Krishna consciousness. And what is sleep at night? It is death. When we are dying, are we going to watch Netflix or Zulu or whatever those different apps are called? Amazon Plus and all those things. Are we going to watch that at the time of death? So suppose somebody is dying, a devotee is dying. Are you going to ask the devotee, hey, you want to watch the latest golf tournament or baseball game or basketball game? Or you want to watch CNN or Fox News? Who cares what is happening? I'm dying. Let me remember Krishna, please. Can you do some kirtan, Prabhu? That's what a dying man will say. And when we go to sleep, that is like death. That corresponds to death in our life cycle. Sleeping means death. We want to sleep in the most Krishna conscious way. The biggest mistake sadhakas, practicing devotees, make is that they pollute their night. Before going to bed, they watch obnoxious things. That is like dying in an obnoxious consciousness. What gati we will get? What destination we will get in the next life? Obnoxious, isn't it? So let us make our nights very pure, because they refer to our death. They map to our death in the life cycle. So at night, as soon as we hit the bed, we should play nice, soft kirtan. I have 4 or 5 favorite kirtans. They go for 1 hour. I put them softly so I can hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra being chanted by sincere devotees. And I go to sleep every night. Or I have personally seen Srila Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, when he came to our ashram in the afternoon after prasad, he took a nap for half an hour. And he was playing very nice Harikatha. Harikatha was going on. So even when we are asleep, the holy vibrations of Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha are surrounding us. We are completely protected. Hari sada vase tatra yatra Bhāgavata jana gayanti bhakti bhavena harer namayava kevalam. Hari sada vase tatra. Lord Hari is always there where Krishna Katha is going on, where Krishna Kirtan is going on. Always there. Naham tishtami vaikunthe yoginam hridayeshuva mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. I am there where my devotees are singing my names. So any recording of a nice blissful kirtan, just play it when you go to sleep. As you fall asleep, as you are lying in the bed, with your mouth just softly chant, whisper, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Think of some Leela that you read in Prabhupada's books. Think of some beautiful pastime that you heard in Harikatha. And thinking about that pastime, thinking about Radha Madan Mohan, the darshan that you had in the temple, go to sleep while chanting softly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Before you know it, you will fall asleep peacefully. And you will wake up fresh. 3:15, you will automatically wake up. There is no need for alarm. Automatically, if you sleep in this consciousness, but don't sleep very late. 10 o'clock, you should hit the bed. Then you wake up at 3:15, you got good, more than 5 hours of sleep. If you need more sleep, sleep at 9 o'clock. Or wake up a little late. You can wake up at 3:30 or 3:45. But please, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., please chant. After that, chant more. If you have to go to work at 8 o'clock, chant more. Do some puja seva in your house if you have deities. Hear Srimad Bhagavatam, read Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitanya Charitamrita, and then go to work and see what happens, my dear friends. In the work, take those 10 minutes breaks, 15-minute break. 1 round, 5 minutes of reading. 1 round, 5 minutes of hearing. Please try this. You come home, go to the gym while hearing some Harikatha or Kirtan. Work out for 45 minutes, 1 hour. Talk to some devotees. Join some reading group in the evening. There are devotees who read in the evening. So read some Chaitanya Charitamrita with devotees, or you can yourself read alone, or hear some Hari Katha as you eat. Especially when we are eating, it's better to hear some nice Krishna Katha. So that as the prasad is going in, even Hari Katha Amrit is going in. Nectar, nectar everywhere. Like that. Try this. And when you sleep, sleep while hearing some Hari Katha, some Kirtan, soft Kirtan, and while chanting peacefully, thinking of something that you have heard, some nice memory about Krishna consciousness, remembering the form of Radha Madan Mohan, you go to sleep. See what happens. Try it, please, dear devotees. This is our devotee lifestyle. You'll be so happy, so blissful. Mahaprabhu is saying, Prabhu asi pratidina mile na duijane ishta goshti Krishna katha kahe katakshane. This is the life of a devotee. Ishta goshti Krishna katha. They talk about Krishna. They discuss about Krishna. Machchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tuschanti cha ramanti cha. Divya prasada paya nitya jagannatha mandire taha ani nitya avashya dena doha kare. The offerings to Lord Jagannath were very opulent under the leadership of Maharaj Pratap Rudra and Sarabhava Bhattacharya and Kashi Mitra Gopinath Acharya. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would bring this very delicious, sumptuous Jagannath Prasad for Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami every day. Ekadine asi Prabhu duhare milila Sanatane achambite kahite lagila. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly spoke to Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami, while coming to Jagannath Puri from Sri Vrindavan Dham, he drank some contaminated water in the forest and got a deadly skin disease. Very severe skin disease. He had ulcers all over his body which were very itchy and they were oozing pus and blood. Sanatan Goswami said, my body has become useless. In those days, there were no dermatologists. There was no cure for his skin disease. He said, my body is useless. I cannot worship the Lord because I am filled with ulcers and pus and blood and foul smell. I cannot be with devotees because it's obnoxious to be around them with a diseased body like this. I can't do any service for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My life is useless. So when Jagannath Rath Yatra happens, I will throw myself under the wheels of Jagannath's cart and I will commit suicide. Sanatan Goswami decided like this. He did not tell it to anyone, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. He knows all our thoughts, my dear friends. And for devotees, this is a great relief. You know, once I was driving and someone sitting next to me in the passenger seat said, hey, watch out, watch out. There's a cop car. There's a cop car. Okay. Then there are people, they say that we should put some laser device which detects where is the closest cop car. Or they use that app. What is that app called for the maps? Not Uber. Some app is there which tells you where the cops are. Waze. That it tells you where the cops are. So they want to know why? Because they are probably speeding. That's why they want to know. They are anxious. Where is the cop? Where is the cop? But for a person who is a defensive driver, a person who is a safe driver, it gives great relief and joy to see that there is a cop car. Not anxiety, but we feel happy. Yes, the cops are there. They are meant to enforce the law and to keep all of us safe. We feel happy when we see the cops. Not, oh, is there a cop car? Is there a cop car? No. You are anxious because you are speeding, because you are breaking the laws. Similarly, a devotee, he feels very happy to know that Krishna is watching us and knowing our thoughts 24/7. But for someone who is not a sincere devotee, it's a great breach of privacy. Why does Krishna know every thought that I think? Why does Krishna know everything I do? Why does Krishna have access to my browsing history? It's a great anxiety. Why? Because they are doing what they are not supposed to do. But a sincere devotee who is doing what they are supposed to do, it's a great relief that Krishna knows. The world may misunderstand me, but Krishna knows all my thoughts. Krishna knows all my actions. So we have to be like that. We have to do what we are supposed to do and be blissful. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows everything. He knew Sanatan Goswami's thoughts. So suddenly one day he spoke. What did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Sanatana dehatyage Krishna jadi paye कोटि देह क्षणे के तबे छाड़ीते पारिये. Oh, Sanatan Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting with his associates. Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami are sitting at his lotus feet. And just out of the blue, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Sanatan Goswami, Oh, Sanatan, देह त्यागे कृष्ण यदि पाइये कोटि देह क्षणे के तबे छाड़ीते पारिये. Oh my dear Sanatan, if someone could get Krishna by committing suicide, I would commit suicide millions of times. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, देह त्यागे कृष्ण ना पाए पाए भजने कृष्ण प्राप्तेर उपाय को नाही भक्ति विने. This is a verse worth memorizing. Worth memorizing. This is chapter 4 of the Antilila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is verse number 56. Lord Jagannath eats 56 offerings every day. Chappan bhog. This is verse number 56. Very beautiful verse. Deha tyage Krishna na paye bhajane Krishna praptir upay ko nahi bhakti vine. Deha tyage Krishna na pai. One cannot get Krishna by committing suicide. One cannot get Krishna by dying. We have died millions of times previously. Have we got Krishna? We are still here, stuck in the material world. So Mahaprabhu is saying it's not by committing suicide that one gets Krishna. How do you get? Paye bhajane. You get Krishna by doing Krishna bhajan. Krishna praptera upaya kona nahi bhakti vine. One cannot get Krishna without bhakti. Milahina raghupati bina anuraga koti janma japa tapa vairaga. One cannot get Krishna without anurag, without bhakti, without love. Prema pumarto mahan. Deha tyagadi jata saba tamo dharma tamo rajo dharme krishnera na paiye marma. Acts like committing suicide are influenced by the mode of ignorance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing nishedh. He is forbidding all of us from committing suicide. Suicide is not good. It does not please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One cannot get a better destination by committing suicide. Deha tyagadi yata sabha tamo dharma. Tamo rajo dharme krishnera na paiye marma. And by following mode of ignorance and passion, one cannot understand Krishna. Bhakti bina Krishne kabhu naye premodaya prema vina Krishna prapti anya haite naya. Unless one discharges devotional service, unless one practices bhakti, bhakti bina Krishne kabhu nahe premodaya. Without practicing bhakti, and what is bhakti? Hearing, chanting, worshipping the Lord, glorifying the Lord. Without practicing bhakti, one cannot get Krishna prem. Krishna prem will not arise in the heart. Prema udaya. Udaya means to arise. Suryodaya, the sun rises. Love for Krishna will not arise in the heart unless we practice bhakti. Bhakti bina Krishna kabhu nahe premodaya. Prema vina Krishna prapti anya haite. And without prem, you cannot get Krishna. Hari bol. Without prem, you cannot get Krishna. Prema vina Krishna prapti anya haite. Unless we have Krishna prem, we cannot get Krishna, my dear friend. This is Siddhanta. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, unless we reach the sthar, the stage of Krishna prem, we cannot go back home, back to Godhead. Ādav Shraddha, tab sadhu sanga, tab bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, there is nishtha, there is ruchi, there is asakti, there is bhav, and there is Krishna prem. There are 9 stages. 9 stages in the journey of a sadhak, in the journey of a practicing devotee. 9 stages. The final stage is Krishna prem. And unless we get Krishna prem, we cannot go to the spiritual world. Milahina raghupati bina anuraga koti janma japa tapa vairaga. Bhakti bina Krishna kabhu nahe premodaya. Prema bina Krishna prapti anya haite nae. Not possible. Without prem, you cannot get Krishna. Cannot get Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives many praman. He quotes one verse from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Na sadhayati mam yogo, na sankhyaṁ dharma uddhava, na swadhyayas tapastyago, yatha bhaktir mamorjita. Lord Krishna is telling Uddhav, my dear Uddhav, Ashtanga Yoga, Sankhya philosophy, where we become Gyanis, try to get empirical, speculative, philosophical knowledge. By practicing dharma, the rules and regulations of dharma, by studying the Vedas, studying the spiritual books. There are some people, they just think that by reading religious books, they will get Krishna. Swadhyaya, not by reading books. Some people think by fasting, doing intense austerities, by taking different vrats, they will get Krishna. By doing tapasya, they will get Krishna. Some people think by giving up objects of sense gratification, we will get Krishna. By doing tyag, we will get Krishna. So by practicing mystic yoga, Ashtanga yoga, different practices, hot yoga, still hot yoga, by practicing becoming Gyanis and cultivating philosophical knowledge, becoming an armchair philosopher, by practicing the rules and regulations of dharma, by reading religious books, by doing austerities, and by giving up all things material. These things cannot give us Krishna by themselves. They cannot give Krishna by themselves. On their own, they cannot give Krishna. Krishna is saying himself. Krishna knows the recipe, what will please him. He says, na sadhayati mam. These things cannot control me. Chitna, how much ever tapasya you want to do tapasya. How much ever vairagya you want to show, you do. How many books you want to read, you read. You can become the greatest scholar. You can read the whole library. You can be the most pious person. You can have become the biggest philosopher. You can practice Ashtanga yoga with posture, breath control, pranayam. You can do all those things. Na sadhayati mam. These things cannot control me, cannot satisfy me. So what will satisfy? Yatha bhaktir mamorjita. But if you have bhakti for me, mama, bhaktir mama, if you have bhakti for me, bhakti means love. Tesham satatayuktanam yajatam Priti Purvakam. Love. Priti Purvakam. That is bhakti. Srila Prabhupada translated bhakti as eternal, loving, devotional service. 4 words. Eternal, loving, devotional service. That is bhakti. Srila Prabhupada defines it. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami, Deha tyagadi tamo dharma pataka karan sadhaka na payata te krishnera charan. Deha tyagadi, they are tamo dharma. They are in the mode of ignorance. Committing suicide is in the mode of ignorance, utter ignorance. Life gets too unbearable to deal with, we end the life. But in the next life, the same sufferings will come. What sufferings are there in our destiny, we have to face them in this life or the next. Committing suicide is not an escape, my dear friends. It is not allowed by Mahaprabhu to commit suicide. One should not commit suicide. Deha tyagadi tamo dharma, Mahaprabhu is saying. This is in the mode of ignorance. Pataka karan. And it will be the reason for us to fall down into very sinful species of life if we commit suicide. Sadhaka na payatate krishnera charan. A devotee never achieves the shelter of Krishna by committing such abominable actions as suicide. Then Mahaprabhu says that sometimes a devotee, out of intense separation from Krishna, feels like he wants to give up his body. But he never actually commits suicide. Because then he gets great pleasure in chanting Krishna Nam. He feels a union in separation from Krishna, in the association of devotees, while chanting Krishna Nam, by hearing Krishna Katha. And therefore, even though he feels that I cannot maintain my life, I'm feeling so much separation from Krishna, but he takes solace in Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha, and devotee association, and does not actually commit suicide. Devotee may feel like that, but devotee never actually commits suicide. Kubuddhi chhadiya kar shravana kirtana achirata pabe tabe krishnera charana. Another verse for memorization. Verse number 65. Kubuddhi chhadiya kar shravana kirtana. Give up this sinful mentality of committing suicide and kara shravana kirtana. Instead, engage in chanting and hearing. Achirata pabe tabe krishnera charan. Very soon you will attain Krishna's lotus feet, and attaining Krishna's lotus feet means no more suffering. All your problems will be solved. Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam budhir vatsa padam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham. The 10th canto, Shukdev Goswami says, by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, all our problems, they may be like an ocean. They shrink down to the little tiny few cc's of water contained in the hoofprint of a little calf. What's padam? So, Kubuddhi chhadiya kara shravana kirtana achirata pabe tabe krishnera charana. And getting Krishna charan means all problems of life are solved. Now, Sanatana Goswami previously said, Morena chuniya prabhu pado tomar paye. Nicha jati adham ar kandu rasagaye. Oh Mahaprabhu, please don't touch me, because I belong to a very low caste, very sinful. I have associated with those who eat meat. I have served the meat eaters. So I belong to a very low category of people. I'm very fallen. So please don't touch me. And also, I am the most fallen human being, most sinful human being. So please don't touch me. Niche jati adhama kandu rasagai. Please don't touch me. I am very fallen. So Mahaprabhu is saying, responding to that, Nicha jati nahe Krishna bhajane ayogya satkula vipra nahe bhajane rayogya. Another verse worth memorizing, verse number 66, chapter 4, Antilila of Sri Caitanya Charitamrita. Must memorize this verse. Mahaprabhu is saying, Nicha jati nahe Krishna bhajane ayogya. Belonging to a very contaminated family. Belonging to a very contaminated family is not a disqualification for Krishna bhajan. Krishna bhajane nahe ayogya. It doesn't make you unfit for practicing Krishna consciousness. Anybody, anyone, whether you are Indian or American, whether you are black or white or brown, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are straight or you are lesbian, gay, transgender, whatever, LGBTQ, whoever you are, everybody has a full right to practice Krishna consciousness. No one is unqualified to practice full-on Krishna consciousness. Full-on Krishna consciousness. Jivera swarupaya Krishnera nityadas. It is a Jaiva dharma of every living entity. Whoever we are, whatever we are, whatever we have done and whatever we are doing, everyone has a full right to practice the full gamut of Krishna consciousness without any restrictions. This is Krishna consciousness, my dear friends. It is the most broad-minded, liberal religion. I'm not saying religion in a worldly sense, like Hindu religion, Muslim religion, Christian religion, Jewish religion. No, not like that. I'm saying religion in terms of the divine duty of every living entity. It is everyone's right to love Krishna, because Krishna is the most lovable object, and Krishna is ours and we belong to Krishna. Whether we like it or we don't like it, whether we know it or we don't know it, we all belong to Krishna. We all belong to Krishna. Pita ahamasya jagata mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajurevacha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pita ahamasya jagata mata dhata pitamaha. I am everyone's father, I am everyone's mother. This is a fact. Sarva yonishu kaunteya aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father for everyone, every species. Everyone belongs to Krishna. Everyone has a right to become a completely mad lover of Krishna. And that is what Krishna consciousness is teaching us, regardless of who we are. Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, these are Mahaprabhu's perfect words. Nicha jati nahe Krishna bhajane ayogya. Nicha jati nahe Krishna bhajane ayogya. Belonging to a low caste, low family, contaminated background, contaminated, polluted family does not make you disqualified for Krishna bhajan, for Krishna bhakti, for loving devotional service to Krishna. No, you can perform. And Satkula vipra nahe bhajanera yogya. Don't think that because you are taken birth in Satkul, in a very pure, pious, exalted family, you are bhajanera yogya. You have got yogyata for performing Krishna bhajan just because you are born in a very pious, devoted, aristocratic, rich, educated, famous family. No. Being born in a great, rich, aristocratic family does not give us the qualification to practice Krishna consciousness. And being born in a contaminated family does not give us the disqualification to practice Krishna consciousness. Which means everybody can practice Krishna consciousness. We simply need bhakti. Mahaprabhu says in verse 67, Jai bhaje sei bada abhakta hi nachar, Krishna bhajane nahi jati kuladi vichar. Such a beautiful verse. Jai bhaje sei bada abhakta hi nachar. Who is big in this world? Not someone who is more educated. Oh, you only have a master's degree. I have a PhD degree. No. Oh, you are not a millionaire. I am a millionaire. So I am better than you. Oh, you have a Honda, Toyota. I have got Mercedes and Audi and BMW. No, not like that. Who is big in this world? Not someone, oh, you have got only 2,000-3,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have got 50,000 subscribers. No, that is also not making you big. Jai bhaje sei bada abhakta hinachar. Mahaprabhu is saying, Jai bhaje sei bada. One who is doing Krishna bhajan is big. Therefore, in Krishna consciousness, we offer respect based on advancement in Krishna consciousness. Not by how many years you have been around or whether what is your position in the temple management. No, these are external things. Someone can be the congregation director and not being following 4 regulative principles also. And there may be a sincere devotee who is a new bhakta, has been around only for 1 or 2 years, but is chanting sincerely and strictly following the 4 regulative principles. So who is big in Krishna's eyes? The sincere devotee who is following the principles of bhakti. Jai bhaje sei badha. One who is doing Krishna bhajan nicely is big in the eyes of Mahaprabhu. And abhakta, one who is not a devotee, hinachar, is very fallen and condemned, abominable. One who is not a devotee is abominable in the eyes of Krishna. Now, Krishna doesn't not abominable in the sense of, being contemptible and being rejected by Krishna. Not like that. But it is a fact. They don't have anything auspicious in their life if they don't have devotion for Krishna. It's just a fact. And Krishna is telling us that such people, we should help them. We should serve them by elevating their consciousness to the consciousness of devotional service, Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, amara ge guru hai tara ei desh. Shuno shuno nityananda, shuno haridas, amara agya tumi koro ye prakash, grihe grihe pati gehe, koro ei bhiksha, bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna shiksha. Mahaprabhu wants us to preach. Prithvi te jate aage nagar adi gram, sarvatra prachara haibe mora naam. It is Mahaprabhu's desire that everyone should come to Krishna consciousness. Everyone should come to Krishna consciousness. Nobody is barred. Nobody is banned from practicing Krishna consciousness. And one who does Krishna bhajan, one who engages in Krishna service is big. That is the criteria. Krishna bhajane nahi jati kuladi vichar. In the practice of Krishna consciousness, there is no consideration of which family you are born, what is your nationality, what is your religious belief, what is your economic status, what is your political view. Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? Do you support the BJP party or do you support some other party? No, that is not the criteria. Everybody can do bhajan. Everybody should do bhajan. And then Mahaprabhu says, Dine re adhika daya kare bhagavana kulina pandita dhanira bada bhimana. Dine re adhika daya kare bhagavan. Krishna gives special mercy to one who is humble. Dine re adhika daya kare bhagavan. Even Lord Jesus Christ said, the kingdom of God belongs to the meek and the humble. How true is that? Dinera adhika daya kare Bhagavan. Krishna will give his mercy. Krishna will give himself to one who is humble. And kulina pandita dhanira bada abhiman. Those who are kuli, those who are born in a very aristocratic family, very rich and famous family, very privileged family, those who are born with a silver spoon, so to speak. Pandit, those who are very educated, they have 4.5 GPA or they are Ivy League university trained. They are Pandits. Those who are very wealthy, those who are millionaires or billionaires or very rich, those who have vacation homes and they have lots and lots of savings, very wealthy. What happens to them? Bada abhiman. They become very proud. Being rich and famous, being very learned and being very wealthy makes us proud, my dear friends. We have to be very careful. If we don't have these things, Hare Krishna. And if we have these things, Hare Krishna. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. Money is not bad. Education is not bad. Having family connections is not bad. But becoming proud is very harmful for bhakti. It will take us away from Krishna. Why? Because now we are not depending on Krishna. We are depending on wealth. We are depending on friends and followers. We are depending on our educational qualifications. So that dependence on Krishna, the shelter of Krishna is gone. Dine re adhika daya kare bhagavana Pandita kulina dhanira bada abhimana. Mahaprabhu is saying. Now, verse number 70. Aha, these are all nectar verses. Bhajanera madhye shrestha navavidha bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Mahaprabhu is saying, do Krishna bhajan. That is what makes one big. Do Krishna bhajan. Okay, what is Krishna bhajan? Bhajan era madhya shrestha navavidha bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare maha shakti. Bhajan means navavidha bhakti, the 9 different processes of bhakti. Shravana kirtana smarana vandana pada sevana dasyare Pujana sakhijana atmanivedana Govinda dasa abhilashare. These are the 9 processes of devotional service. Hearing Krishna Katha, chanting Krishna Nam and Krishna Katha, remembering Krishna, worshipping Krishna's lotus feet, worshipping the deity of Krishna, becoming a friend of Krishna, glorifying Krishna, becoming a servant of Krishna, and offering everything to Krishna. These are the 9 processes of devotional service. When we are chanting our Mangala Charan prayers, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. When we are chanting all these beautiful nectar verses, we are doing Vandanam. When we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we are doing Kirtanam. When we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Bhagavad Gita Ji, we are doing Shravanam. When we are doing deity worship, Puja Seva, we are doing Archanam. In this way, Srila Prabhupada has engaged us in the different limbs of bhakti. And Mahaprabhu is saying, that these 9 processes of bhakti is what makes us great. Whereas being proud of our wealth and family simply takes us away from Krishna. Janmaishwarya shruta shribhir edhamana madah puma naivarhati abhidhatum vai tvam akinchana gocharam. Srila Prabhupada in the purport is quoting the prayers of Queen Kunti Devi. A person who is proud of his birth, opulence, knowledge and beauty cannot achieve your lotus feet. If you think I am very handsome, I am very beautiful, then it will just take us away from Krishna. Oh Krishna, you are available only to those who are humble and meek and not to the proud ones. This is what Bhagavatam says. Now verse number 71, last verse for today. Tara madhe sarva shrestha nama sankirtana nirapradhe nama laile paya prema dhana. Prema dhan. This is what we want. Krishna prema dhana vina daridra jivana dasa ko he vetana mora deha prema dhana. Krishna prema bina vyartha daridra jivan. Without love for Krishna, our life is useless. Our life is impoverished. We have no real wealth without Krishna prema. So how do you get Krishna prema? Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the formula. Very simple. 2 things we have to do. Tara madhya sarva shrestha nama sankirtan. Chant the holy name of Krishna. Chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra privately with full concentration. Samyak rupena iti sankirtan. And bahubish militva iti sankirtan. And come together with devotees and chant together. Congregational chanting. Both are sankirtan. Tara madhya sarva shrestha nam sankirtan. Do it. How do you do nam sankirtan? Nir aparadhe nama laile paya premadhan. Nir aparadhe. Do it without committing offenses. Don't criticize devotees. Don't disobey the orders of your spiritual master. Don't criticize the Vedic scriptures. Don't commit sinful activities thinking that chanting Hare Krishna will nullify those sins. No. Chant Hare Krishna without committing offenses and 100% you will get Krishna prema. Nirapradhe nama lele paya premadhan. You will get Krishna premadhan. Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva nam sankirtan. Achirata pabe tumi Shri Krishna charan. Definitely we will get Shri Krishna charan if we do this. Don't criticize anybody and just chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I wanted to continue this pastime. This pastime continues very beautifully, but we have run out of time. So I will stop here. If there are any questions or comments, we can take for a few minutes. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Oh, sorry, Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji. Please. Sorry, I thought there was no.
Go ahead, Mataji. Ask your question.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Thank you so much, Ādi Gadādhara Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances on glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Beautiful class, Prabhu. It's your classes are like as soon as we hear, we feel like doing it sincerely immediately. So thank you for that. Prabhu, I had few questions. I don't know if I will be articulating them properly. If it sounds inappropriate, I beg forgiveness in advance. But my mood is not to challenge you, Prabhu, but to improve my sadhana. That's my only intention to ask you those. So having said that, few things, Prabhu, like when we take a vow, right? As you said, this is Kartik. We can sit and chant 2 hours. Now, each of our schedule looks different. Of course, one thing is for sure that Brahma Murta should be used only for Krishna. But that may be Mangalarti, that may be chanting, that may be something else. Reading scripture according to the, like we hear in so many books, in so many books of Srila Prabhupada, in the purport Prabhupada is saying, and even in his lecture, I hear so often him saying that, this Krishna conscious movement, we are, we do Mangalarti this time, our devotees, like that. He says, he gives so much of importance for us doing Mangalarti. Of course, chanting also he does. And I was recently hearing Burijan, I don't remember the source where it was a recent, somebody was saying the source where Prabhu was mentioning that Burijan Prabhu had once, he was mentioning that we don't have Mangalarti. And he said, are you still in ISKCON? like that. So that's the importance of Mangalarti we have heard. So Mangalarti is between 4:30. I'm talking about a temple situation, 4:30 to 5:50. Now my struggle is, Prabhu, whether I go there or because I've seen my Guru Maharaj also so much importance to his, gives to Mangalarti as well. And then whatever time is left, because we have to send our kids to school and Prabhu's to work, before that we get to chant as much as we can. But while understanding the importance of both, how do we work out with this, Prabhu, please? Yeah, I have follow-up questions, Prabhu, but this is the first one.
Hare Krishna. Anuradha Mataji. So I was talking about devotees like myself who don't have access to the temple so easily. For me, the temple is 45 minutes drive. So morning, I cannot go to the temple every morning. So I'm talking about devotees who do home program. So for home program, what I suggested can be applied. Your situation is different where it seems that you live close to the temple. Is that correct?
Yes, Prabhu, I live near Kalachandin. Yeah, I can go to the temple.
So then if someone is living in the close to the temple and has the ability to attend the morning program in the temple, then by all means, you should do that. That takes priority. When I go to New Vrindavan, I was there for 3 days. So I also followed the morning program. Chant few rounds before Mangalarti, and then there is Mangalarti. You attend Mangalarti, you do Tulsi Arati, you sit down and chant with devotees, then you do Shringar Darshan, Guru Puja, hear Bhagavatam class. That is perfect. That is ideal. That is better than doing the home program, the way I suggested. So if one has access to the local temple, then please, by all means, you go. But if the Mangalarti is at 4:30, make sure you are chanting at 4 o'clock. At least 4 or 5 rounds you should finish before the Mangalarti. So that when the Japa session is there, because Japa session may not be 2 hours in the temple, it may be 1.5 hours. So you still get to chant for 2 hours, because Prabhupada says in one place I have read that our devotees, they chant for 2 hours in the morning. Because 16 rounds is okay, but some devotees can chant 16 rounds in 1.5 hours. So then what after that? No. So 16 rounds is variable. Some will take 2 hours to chant 16 rounds. Some will take 1 hour 45 minutes. Some will take 1.5 hours. Some will take 1 hour 15 minutes to chant 16 rounds. I finished 16 rounds in 1 hour 15 minutes. So 16 rounds is not the criteria. The criteria is that 2 hours we should do bhajan, because there are 24 hours in a day. 2 hours you should do. If we put it 16 rounds, then someone who can chant 16 rounds in 1.5 hours will run away after 1.5 hours. Oh, I finished my 16 rounds. Tata, bye bye. No. So 2 hours we should do bhajan. Prabhupada says 2 hours at least we should do bhajan. The Goswamis should do 22 hours. How many hours? 22 hours. The Goswamis in Vrindavan. 22 hours of bhajan. Srila Prabhupada has told us 2 hours. You do Nam bhajan. Sit and just chant for 2 hours. So that we should do. But if the temple is close to you, you go to the temple, but make sure you are chanting for 2 hours. So you can do half an hour before Mangalarti, 4 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5:30 Mangalarti, 5:30 to 7 you sit and chant, and 7 o'clock onwards, then you can either continue the morning program or you come home and do your home responsibilities, but chant for 2 hours. Is that okay?
Perfect, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And then I had a few more questions related to Prabhu. When we take vow, talking for myself, sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. Times when I'm like 6-7 months, I have been going for Mangalartis, so pride is seeping in. So that is, how do I deal with it? And when I'm failing, then it kind of a depression comes in. Oh, I failed. Either case, I don't know where I'm going, Prabhu. So would you guide on that too?
Yes. So when we take a vow, we take it sincerely. Our intentions are good, that I want to do this. But then we do it for a few days, and then after that we fall short. Correct? This is the experience of many devotees. So you don't have to feel depressed about it. You don't have to feel lost. Don't worry. This happens to most of us, not some of us, most of us. Because the natural tendency in this world is to go down. Gravity pulls everybody down. If you are climbing up the mountain, little negligence and you fall down. Falling down is very easy. Climbing up is very difficult in this world. That's the nature of this world. That is the nature of this world. Very difficult to do anything good in this world. So don't worry. We have fallen short. We should see what is the problem, what made me fall down, how did I break my vow, what mistake did I do. You repair that mistake and you keep trying. We will fall down 1,000 times. We will take a vow and we will not be able to keep our vow 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, but we'll still go on. One day we will be successful. One day we will be successful. Dupkiya Sindhu, you understand Hindi?
Yes, Prabhuji, completely.
डुबकिया सिंधु में गोताखोर लगाता है, जा जाकर वापस खाली हाथ लौटाता है. मिलते न सहज ही मोती गहरे पानी में, बढ़ता दुगना उत्साह इसी हैरानी में. आखिर उसकी मेहनत बेकार नहीं होती, मुट्ठी उसकी खाली हर बार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. कभी हार नहीं. To keep trying. The diver dives in the ocean many times but doesn't get the pearl at the bottom of the ocean, which is very deep. But that doesn't mean that the diver gives up. He keeps trying, keeps trying, keeps trying, and he is not unsuccessful every time. मुट्ठी उसकी खाली हर बार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Once he will get that pearl and he will be successful. So don't worry. It is the nature of this world to make us fall down in our determination to practice Krishna consciousness. But Srila Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nischaya Dhairyat. We will have Utsaha, we will have enthusiasm, Nischaya, we will have determination, and we will have Dhairya, we will have Dhiraj bhi dharenge. We will have patience also. ऐसा नहीं कि अब भी कृष्ण प्रेम चाहिए मेरे को. Today I did 16 rounds in Brahmamurta. Why? Tears are not coming. Why my hair is not standing on it? No. Patience, patience. Dirgha kal tak bhajana hai. For a long time, we have to continue doing bhajan nicely. Our bhajan is shaky right now. It will become steady. From shaky to steady. It will go. We have to see what mistakes we are doing. Why I was not able to follow my vrat. Is it because I did not wake up early in the morning? That's why I could not finish my Nam Bhajan Sankhya. I could not finish my prescribed rounds that I have promised Krishna. Did I watch late night movie? Did I watch TV for late? Did I keep chatting with devotees till late? It may be spiritual talk. Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, he goes for a satsang in the evening. You know, after satsang, devotees sit and they keep talking to each other, isn't it? Devotees chat.
Yes.
He gets up and leaves. He said, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol. Dandat Pranam, I am going. It is 8:30 because I have to sleep so that I can wake up in the morning for my japa. Chatting with devotees is okay, but it is not more important than your Brahma Murta japa. So even if it is devotees, excuse yourself and just leave. See what is the mistake. See why you are falling down. See why you are not able to keep up your vrat. Fix those mistakes and move on. We will make many mistakes, Mataji, and I will tell you something very secret and confidential. Please listen carefully. This I have heard from the lotus mouth of my dear Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj said that Krishna makes you fall down in your vrat, in your vow. Krishna makes you fall down to keep you humble. Hare Krishna, special mercy of Krishna when we fail. Yes, to make us humble. If we are able to fulfill all our vows, then we will become very proud. And dinera adhika daya kare Bhagavan. Pandita kulina dhanire bada abhiman. If we have abhiman, Krishna will leave us. Krishna left the Ras Leela because some sadhana siddha gopis felt some pride. Little pride. Krishna left. Uddhav felt little pride that I am the best devotee in Dwarka. I am the best devotee in Mathura. And Krishna sent him to what Amarendra Prabhu says, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education to the gopis, Vraj gopis. And he was completely humbled. I have no bhakti lesh. I don't even have a particle of bhakti in me. So Krishna humbles his devotees. So that is a very good. If we fail, I am a failure, Krishna. I could not keep my vow. Please, but I'm going to try like a little ant. I'm going to keep trying. Is that okay? Anuradha Mataji, keep trying. Don't give up. We don't lose the battle until we quit trying. The day we quit trying, we have lost. So don't quit trying. We are very ayogya. We are very disqualified. We are very unqualified. But we will not give up the lotus feet of Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. That is all we have, and that is all we want. We will try, maybe a little squirrel, but we will throw the little sand particles on the bridge from Kanyakumari to Lanka. And when Lord Ramchandra says, why are you doing this? What is the value of your little sand particles? They will tell Lord Ram, well, Hanumanji and Neel and Nala, they have created a big bridge with big boulders, and we are putting little sand to make it nice, flat and soft for you to walk. So we will throw sand like squirrels. That is our service. The big boulders Hanumanji can do. The big devotees can do. We are very small, but what we can do, we will do. So keep trying. Okay?
Sure, Prabhu. As you said about Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, that he just gets up and comes. Okay, that is my real struggle, because I stay with like around, we are like 50-60 devotee family together. So it is like big family. Everybody has something. Now, Prabhu, one thing being Mataji's, it is not as same as the Prabhus. They can deal in a different way. Mataji's are different. That is like, that's how we are made. At the same time, it is, I feel that will I become hard-hearted by doing that? Somebody might have something very sincere to share, and just because I have to chant, am I not becoming? I mean, this is a struggle that I'm sharing, Prabhu. I'm not saying this is my perfect understanding.
Do you have the ability to take a nap in the afternoon?
I do, Prabhu.
So bus, it's okay. Then if it is unavoidable, you stay up late, but wake up on time and you catch up on your sleep by taking a nap in the afternoon. But don't miss your chanting from 4 to 6 or whatever, 4 to 7.
So we being too strict, I mean, you will know it because you have been like that, so you're the perfect person to answer this. Will we not become...
I'm most imperfect, Mataji. In all this group of 47 devotees, I am the least advanced. Really, I'm telling you.
That is your humility.
With my Tulsi Mala in my hand. If I lied when I said this, then may I lose any little bit devotion.
No, Prabhu, no. It is our emotion we are expressing. It is our emotion.
I'm the biggest hypocrite, I'm abhakta. Please tell me, what were you saying?
Yeah, so being very strict to our regime, our vows, will we not, there is a chance of becoming hard-hearted, Prabhu?
No, we have to tell, you should try and tell humbly that I get headache if I don't sleep on time, and then I have to wake up for the morning program also. So is it okay if we, wind up the program by 9 o'clock? That is very reasonable. But if there is resistance and others don't want to do it and it's unavoidable, you have to wait for the cleanup and other things, then you just wake up in the morning, you do your bhajan, and then afternoon you catch up your sleep. But there is no question of becoming hard-hearted if you humbly request them that, because Prabhupada said we should sleep early. Sadhu means disciple means one who is disciplined. We cannot be indisciplined that we sleep whatever time we want. Our body needs rest, no? So we have to follow timetable.
So Prabhu, and the last thing I want to just add on, and I'm sorry, there are other hands raised, but since you're so wonderfully answering, one last thing, that, Prabhu, like talking to devotees, it is not just their happiness, it is my happiness too. Like honestly, I'm talking for myself. I do not talk to my family as much as I talk to devotees. So it's like family. I've got back my family. It's not just that. So I don't know where I get into sense gratification. Of course, it is Krishna related, sadhana related, everything. It is not something obscene that we are talking. It is Krishna related. But where it is sense gratification, that I'm enjoying being with them, and where it is like, it is like the balance. How do we, apart from prayer, Prabhu, what can we do that we are not, as you said, ki maza aa raha hai baat karne mein, even if it is Krishna consciousness, I am not prioritized. Of course, my taste is more in talking than in chanting. That I have no doubt about it. That is for sure. But how do I remain loyal to my chanting, Prabhu? Because I know that is my ultimate thing, sadhana, that will give me everything else in bhakti, Prabhu. Did I put my question properly, Prabhu?
I didn't understand properly, Mataji.
So, Prabhu, in simple terms, my inclination is more towards being with devotee than my chanting. So when we are talking, of course my taste is not there at all in chanting. I'm chanting because I'm supposed to chant. So in being in a certain stage like that, where my taste is more with being devotee and talking than chanting, how do I prioritize apart from prayer? What can I do practically, Prabhu? Is the question better now, Prabhu?
Yeah, now I understand. I think I understand. Hare Krishna. Thank you for explaining it so nicely. So we have to question ourselves, why do I like to associate with devotees? Why do I like to associate with devotees? And the answer should be because we want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness and we want to serve the devotees. We associate with devotees to please them, to serve them, because we are in this movement only to please Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Samsiddhir, Haritoshanam. That is the only reason why we are in ISKCON. There is no second reason. There is only one reason we are in ISKCON, and that is to please Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. This should be very clear. Why am I in Krishna consciousness? Why have I joined ISKCON? There is only one reason for everyone, always. And that is Atap Pumbir Dvijashrestha Varanashrama Vibhagasa Swanushishasta Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The Dharmasya Samsiddhir, the perfection of our practice of Krishna consciousness is Haritoshanam. Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Guru and Vaishnavas are inseparable from Hari. Namaham Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Presthaya. Our acharyas, they are dear to Krishna, they are always at Krishna's lotus feet, they are inseparable. So our Haritoshanam means we have to please Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas. That is the only reason why we have come to this society. So when we like to talk to devotees, like you said, when we like to associate with devotees, why are we associating? We are associating to please them. We are associating to serve them. Correct? You agree with this, Anuradha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, definitely.
To serve them, to please them, we associate with them. We cannot serve them and we cannot please them unless we have strong sadhana, unless we have sincere chanting. We cannot contribute anything to the society of devotees. To make a substantial contribution, we need purity. Purity is the force. So it's not that we only seek association. I want devotee association. I want devotee association. We have to become that association also. We have to become that association also. So yes, we want association, but we also want to be association. And to become that association and to appreciate the association we are getting, we must chant Tara Madhya Sarva Shresht Nam Sankirtan. Mahaprabhu doesn't say Tara Madhya Sarva Shresht Vaishnavera Varta. Talk to the devotees. No, Tara Madhya Sarva Shresht Nam Sankirtan. Nirapradhe Nama Lele Pabe Premadhan. We must have. Shripad Ayandar Prabhu would not allow anyone to chant, to sing in the 24-hour Kirtan unless they had chanted their 16 rounds in Brahma Muhurta. He would not allow them. You cannot lead Kirtan in 24-hour Kirtan unless you have finished your 16 rounds. Some people were saying that actually Ayandar Prabhu is always doing Kirtan with devotees. He is not chanting his 16 rounds. At that time, Srimad Ayandar Prabhu said, I chant 116 rounds every day. At least 116 rounds every day. During Chaturmasya and Kartik, I chant more. Because 58 rounds is 1 lakh. So 58 rounds is 1 lakh, and Srimad Ayandar Prabhu said the Goswamis would chant 2 lakh every day. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan minimum. So I will also chant 2 lakh. So he used to do 116 rounds every day, Srimad Ayandar Prabhu, and do his Shaligram Seva. And while doing Shaligram Seva, he would ask Ram Rai Prabhu and other associates to read the Goswami literature, to read Prabhupada's books, while he did 4 hours of Shaligram Seva. So we need a strong foundation of sadhana bhakti, and the most important limb is Tara Madhya Sarva Shresht Nam. Chanting Nam. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Kevalam Kalo Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva Gatiranyatha. So yes, we have to do Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tuschanti Cha Ramanti Cha. We have to come with devotees and do Krishna Katha. But the ability to do Krishna Katha comes from Nam Bhajan. Nam Bhajan is the foundation. Otherwise, what Krishna Katha we will speak in the association of devotees? What will we contribute? And what will we receive from there? We cannot receive anything substantial unless we have the purity. Our Nam Bhajan is the patra, is the vessel in which we can receive the Krishna Katha that we are hearing in the association of devotees. So we must prioritize our chanting of the rounds. Srila Prabhupada said 99% of our spiritual advancement comes from chanting our 16 rounds attentively every day. This also I have heard many times from our Guru Varga. Srila Prabhupada said, most important is chanting. Okay, Anuradha Mataji?
Perfect, Prabhuji. Thank you. And so sorry for taking so much of your time, and beg forgiveness to other questions.
No, thank you. Thank you for such a
Hare
nice
Krishna,
question.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Before we go to the next devotees, do you have time, Prabhu? Is that okay to continue questions?
Mataji, I have time. Do you have time?
Yeah, we have time. I'm asking because sometimes I saw your phone was ringing, so I just wanted to confirm.
It was my Gayatri alarm.
Okay, Prabhuji. So before I give it to others, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a beautiful class. You are talking about chanting and Brahma Muhurta chanting. Today happened to be like I missed my Brahma Muhurta chanting. I didn't know, and I had got up very late, which I felt very bad for that. And you were especially speaking about that. I know Krishna wanted me to hear about it, and so I be more regulated in my daily schedule so that I don't miss it again. Thank you, Prabhu, for such a beautiful and instructive class. Vrinda wants to speak, Prabhuji.
Yes, you're all much more advanced than me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Father Vrinda. I really like your class. Please bless me to chant my rounds every single day.
Hare Krishna. I pray at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Radha Madan Mohan to bless you immensely, Vrinda, so that you are able to do very pleasing, very nice, sincere, devotional Nam Bhajan all your life, so that you are always a source of pleasure to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So next we have Bhakti Prada Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, my question is, Prabhuji, very nice class, Prabhuji. It is very nice to hear. Some in between I just missed because of some work. Sorry, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is, it is said like we should chant always. Our tongue should be moving always. So for me, I have tried, but I always forget to chant. Okay, on beats is okay. I'll chant some rounds, but on tongue or in the mind, it doesn't happen with me, Prabhuji.
If we pray to Srila Prabhupada and to Srila Haridas Thakur, it will happen. If we pray to Srila Prabhupada and to Srila Haridas Thakur that I want to do Nirantar Nam Bhajan, may I always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Khaite, shuite, chalite, phirite, yatha tatha naam laye, desh kal niyam nahi, sarva siddhi hai. Khate, phite, chalte, phirte, utte, baithte. Nirantar naam lena hai. Continuously I want to chant at all times. It will happen. If you pray to Srila Prabhupada and if you pray to Srila Haridas Thakur, if you pray sincerely every day for 1 week, you will find yourself unconsciously chanting. While cooking, while taking a shower, while bathing, continuously that name will come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And if we hear criticism of any devotee or if we criticize any devotee, immediately it will stop. Immediately, that same day it will stop. If we eat something that is not Krishna Prasad, immediately there will be disturbance in the Nam that is going on internally. So just pray and practice. Practice chanting Upamshu. Vachik we chant while chanting on the Japamala. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But practice Upamshu. Upamshu means you don't use your throat. You just use your tongue and your lips to softly whisper the holy name. Hare Krishna. Whatever you are doing, whatever activities we do in the daytime, Upamshu jap should go on. And it can go on while breathing in as well as breathing out. Whereas Vachik stops when you have to breathe in. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, so you have to break. But Upamshu, it is Nirantar. There is no stoppage. Continuously in and out, the breath is moving and you are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. It just goes on. So practice it. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Vairagyana cha griyate. And give up things that are unfavorable. That is Vairagya. Hearing Vaishnava Ninda, speaking Vaishnava Ninda, eating things that are not prasad. And I'll tell you from my own example, I sometimes go to some other city to work some shifts. And if I run out of prasad, I sometimes eat yogurt there in the hospital. It's just milk and some fruits. It does not have gelatin or anything like that. It's just yogurt, but it is not Krishna Prasad. And I eat some potato chips also, which also has potato chips, oil and salt. But it is not Prasad, although I mentally offer and eat, but that is not really the proper way to eat. It has not been offered properly. So someone like me who does not have real devotion, Krishna doesn't accept. So as soon as I eat it, Mataji, it is my experience. Immediately I sense a disturbance in my Nam Bhajan. Immediately. Then it is very difficult to chant Krishna's name and even very difficult to chant our prescribed Sankhya also properly. Very difficult to wake up in the morning. It just creates a lot of disturbance in consciousness. Bad thoughts come in the mind. All that happens. So we have to be careful of these things, that we should not see anything that we are not supposed to see. We should not hear any Vaishnava Ninda. We should not speak any Vaishnava Ninda. And we should eat with our tongue, like we were reading today. Prabhupada's quote today. Always chant Hare Krishna with your tongue constantly, Prabhupada says. And only eat Krishna Prasad. If you do these two things, you will get Krishna. So practice Upamshu Japa. With practice it will come. Abhyasana tu kaunteya. Give up things that are unfavorable. And pray to Srila Haridas Thakur and to Srila Prabhupada. They are very powerful acharyas and they will give you all blessings.
Yes, Prabhuji. Definitely, Prabhuji. And please kindly bless us that we progress and I progress in this chanting properly and bhakti properly, Prabhuji. Thank you.
As your servant, I will pray for you, Mataji.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Don't
You are
tell
much more advanced than me, so I cannot bless, but I will pray for you.
I am just new.
Service
Just new. 2 years back, I got initiated. No, only 6 months back, I got initiated, and we just came in Krishna consciousness 2 years back. We were non-vegetarians, Prabhuji. Don't tell like that, Prabhuji.
Mataji, if I tell you what I have done, you will leave the Zoom meeting. You'll say, I don't want to see his face.
I have done this so much, Prabhuji. Don't say, Prabhuji. No.
Very sincere, Mataji. You are thinking you have come to Krishna consciousness only 2 years ago, initiated only 6 months ago. And I'm thinking, this Mataji is so junior. I am so senior. Dinera Ādi Gadādhara Dāsa Bhagavan. Pandita Kulina Dhani Ra Bada Abhiman. I am proud. So Krishna will not give mercy to me. But you are so humble. You are taking a humble position.
No, Prabhuji. You are telling. No, Prabhuji. You are very nice. Very
pray
nice.
For you, Mataji,
humble.
that,
Definitely, I will pray. Even though you are very senior, very nice, still, because you are telling as a instruction, I will definitely pray, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I will pray for you, Mataji, that you are able to chant constantly. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
You. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Nitya Narsimha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Hello, Prabhupada. It was nectarian class, Prabhuji. So many heart-touching points. Falling down is easy, climbing up is important, and repairing the mistake one day will be successful. So these words give some assurance that at least failures are there, but one fine day, by doing proper sadhana, by doing Vaishnava Seva, will go back to Krishna there. Prabhu, question is like, why Sanatana Goswami was not allowed to enter into the Jagannath temple, Prabhuji?
Because Sanatana Goswami was previously Shakar Malik. Rupa Goswami was Dabir Khas and Sanatana Goswami was Sakar Malik. They were actually Amar and Santosh. Sanatana Goswami's birth name was Santosh and Rupa Goswami's birth name was Amar. So Amar and Santosh. But after they were forced to serve Nawab Hussain Shah, the Muslim king of Bengal, the Muslim king gave them Muslim names, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. And they were working for the Muslim government who were slaughterers of cows and they were eating cow's meat. The employer of Sanatana Goswami. So because Sanatana Goswami was employed under a cow meat eater, cow slaughterer in the Orthodox Hindu society 500 years ago, they were not considered to be Hindus. They had lost their caste. Even if you drink water from the house of a meat eater, you lost your caste in those days. And they were working, sitting in the same court, discussing, having meetings with the king. Very intimately, they were working with the king for many years. So the Orthodox Hindu society considered them to be non-Hindus, and they were given that Muslim name also, Dabir Khas Sakar Malik. So although Srila Sanatan Goswami, Yadyapi tumi hao jagata pavan, tuma sparshe pavan hoye deva muni gan, tathapi bhaktera swabhav maryada rakshan, maryada palan hoye sadhura bhushan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sanatan Goswami, Yadyapi tumi hao jagata pavan. Even though Sanatan Goswami, you are jagata pavan, you can purify the whole world. Yadyapi tumi hao jagata pavan, toma sparshe pavan hoye deva muni gan. The devatas and the munis get purified by touching you, O Sanatan Goswami. Tathapi bhaktera swabhav maryada rakshan, maryada palan hoy sadhura bhushan. Still Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan Goswami, you don't enter the Jagannath temple. You don't even come near the Jagannath temple because you want to practice the maryada that no, I am not a Hindu. I will not come inside Jagannath temple. So even though you are most purifying, you are most pure, but still, tathapi bhaktera swabhav, it is the nature of a real devotee, maryada palan, to follow maryada. No, they don't want non-Hindus in the temple of Jagannath, I will not go. Tathapi bhaktera swabhav, maryada rakshan, and maryada palan hoy sadhura bhushan. And this Vaishnava etiquette, Sanatan Goswami, is your real ornament. The real ornament of a sadhu is not gold earrings and gold necklace. It is observance of Vaishnava etiquette. And you are observing Vaishnava etiquette, Sanatan Goswami, but by not, he would have been allowed, maybe if Mahaprabhu would have said, they would have allowed, Maharaj Pratap Rudra would have definitely allowed Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur, but Bhaktera Swabhav Maryada Rakshan and Maryada Palana hoy Sadhura Bhushan. Being real Saral Vaishnavas, they did not want to enter. They just kept, they would take darshan of Chakra and they would, out of humble position, they would stay away. That was their bhav. Because previously they had worked for the Muslim king. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. Can we understand that it is because of humility of Sanatana Goswami, he don't want to go, or it is the law of the like Orissa government or Orissa king that they should
both.
Not come?
It was both. It was both.
Yes,
In those days, society was very orthodox.
Yeah. Even now also that strictness is there, bro. Like,
Yes.
we can see only Pandas, and that too only Jains we can see. Whole so much of Rath Yatra last week also we could see that very like orthodox way.
Yes. One Mataji, she went there. She's one Mataji, she's from Maharashtra, but she's very fair. Her complexion is very fair. So she went to Jagannath Puri Dham and they said, no, you are not Hindu, you are foreigner. So they did not allow her. And then she started speaking in Hindi. She said, no, I am born in Maharashtra, I am this. So he looked at her tilak. He said, your guru is a Firangi, your guru is a Westerner, so you cannot enter. She said, because I am a disciple of my Gurudev who was born in Paschatya Desh, if that is a disqualification, then I will not enter. But I will not renounce my Guru. Then he said, please come. He said, please come. Yeah, this actually happened. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And continuation to that, Prabhuji, like, see, Sanatana Goswami is such an exalted Goswami. And is it the pastime that it is a Leela, or it is to show us the Palan condition side? So, like me, that, because he is elevated, but he is drinking like normal water and he got a skin disease and all. This is to show to show to the us, or it is real, Prabhuji? Why exalted devotee should get skin disease, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to hug him, and then I don't understand this one. Would you kindly enlighten on that?
Prabhuji, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will enlighten all of us. Very nice question you asked. So this is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit Antya Leela, chapter 4, from where we were reading, and this is the first verse. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is answering the question in the first verse. Vrindavanat punaha praptam Shri Gaurah Shri Sanatanam Deha patad avan snehat Shuddham Chakre Parikshaya. Pariksha le rahe the Sanatan Goswami ki. So it was to teach all of us. He tested Sanatan Goswami by giving that skin disease. Shuddham Chakre. And then he made his body pure also. He removed the skin disease by embracing him later on. Shuddham Chakre. But before that, Parikshaya. he tested him. See, Prabhupada is saying, after testing him, Sri Chaitanya purified his body. So this skin disease that Sanatana Goswami got, it was a test to teach all of us tolerance and humility. Tolerance and humility. It is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught humility through Haridas Thakur, and he taught us tolerance through Sanatana Goswami. Both of them are living together at Siddhavakul. Our acharyas have commented like this. Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna. So, humility was taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Thakur Haridas. And tolerance was taught by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Mandalpati, he was so rich. He was the Prime Minister of entire Bengal, and now he is living under trees. Sanatana, such tolerance. And he has got such skin disease, it lasted for almost 1 year, and he quietly tolerated it. Sanatana Goswami. So tolerance was taught by Sanatana Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses his different devotees to teach us lesson. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Priya Bhakta Dware Annera Karaye Shiksha Eita Prakare. In this way, Mahaprabhu teaches all of us lessons using his dear devotees as examples. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhuji. And I think you answered. And why he had a thought of suiciding. Actually, suiciding is like last thing. It is also because of humility or something else, Prabhuji.
It is again to teach us. See, Sanatana Goswami was thinking of ending his life because for the sake of seva. He said, with this body, I cannot do any seva. I cannot associate with devotees because I'm contaminated. I will contaminate them. I cannot see Jagannath. I cannot serve Mahaprabhu. So what do I do with this body? This body is filled with ulcers everywhere. There is foul smell, pus, blood, ulcers, itching. I can't do anything. So this body is useless. So he was feeling useless because he could not do any seva. Because a devotee lives for seva. Paropakarartham idam shariram. This body is meant for serving others. If you cannot serve, what is the use? That was his bhav. It was not because I'm suffering, bahut pain hai, I'm not getting morphine, so I will commit suicide. It was not like that. It was because he could not do seva. He was just wanting to do seva. So if getting a new body will facilitate seva, then I want to die like that. But again, it is for the sake of Leela to teach us that even if that is the reason, one should not commit suicide. Because Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, Sei Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sam. At the time of Diksha, the devotee offers his body, mind, and soul. Karmana Manasa Vacha Buddhya Chaham Punah Punah. The devotee offers himself again and again at the lotus feet of Shri Guru at the time of initiation. Body, mind, and words, everything. That's why 3 circles of Kantimala. So then we cannot take the body back. We have given our body to Krishna and Guru. So by committing suicide, we cannot take it away from them. Jo cheez ek baar de di hai, vastu de di hai, wo bas, we have given it. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. Sei Kale Krishna Kare Tare Atma Sam. That time Krishna accepts us also. So now we have no right. This body belongs to Krishna. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichumor Arpilu Tua Pade Nanda Kishore. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohar Nitya Dasa Prati Tua Adhikar. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranams. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, I had this one question that Prabhuji, sometimes you are forced to do something that you don't want to do. It is like I've faced this. Prabhuji, you have to handle your relatives who are otherwise very nice people, but they are not necessarily Krishna conscious. And I always feel that whenever I associate with them, out of etiquette, I have to. I feel that I'm wasting my time. I'm bereft of devotee association, and it's not that I want to become hard-hearted, but actually I don't even call anyone. How do you balance this? I'm pretty sure you must have answered this question before, but because I'm facing this, Prabhuji, I thought maybe I should seek some clarification.
Prem gali ati sakhari tame do na samay. The lane of love is very narrow. 2 cannot fit, only 1 can fit. It's a single lane. Prem gali ati sakhari. Sakhari means very narrow. The path to Krishna is that of Sharanagati.
Yes.
The path to Krishna is of Sharanagati. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna demands Sharanagati. And Sharanagati is anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana. Asat sanga tyag ei Vaishnava achar. Those who are Krishna abhakta, we have to give up their association. Mahaprabhu has told. Vaishnava Sanga, we have to give up. One of the 6 things are favorable for bhakti and six things are unfavorable for bhakti. But in both these things, both these verses, Rupa Goswami repeats one principle. See, let's see. What are favorable? Utsahad nishchayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyago sato vritti shadbhir bhakti prasiddhyati. Sangatyag is there. It is favorable for bhakti. Now let us see what is unfavorable. What is bhakti vinashyati? Atya ahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamagraha jana sangasya laulyam cha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. Jana sangasya, associating with materialistic people. Because what happens with materialistic people? There will be prajalpa. Both are happening, and these are unfavorable things for devotional service. So everywhere repeatedly in our Shastra, it is said, Asat Sanga Tyag Ei Vaishnava Achar. We have to give up Asat Sanga. So Parima Mataji, best is to become a serious devotee, make intimate friendship with sincere advanced devotees, and be in the association of devotees. And we should absolutely minimize our interaction with non-devotees. Whatever is required for service, whatever is required for essential social interaction, social responsibilities, that much we should do, but we should really minimize. And on WhatsApp, all our contacts, on phone, all our contacts, most of them should be just devotees of Krishna. And this is what happens to every devotee.
Yeah.
Because Krishna is a thief. He steals away everything. Steals away everything. We will lose. So slowly, our WhatsApp group where all the school friends are there, we have to leave it. The college friend group, we leave it. So many groups we leave. And now all we have is Bhakti Sanga.
Yes.
This is natural. This is a sign of spiritual advancement. This is a sign of Krishna Kripa. So we should minimize our dealings with non-devotees because they may be otherwise nice, like you said. But actually there is nothing nice.
I realize that, Prabhuji, but it is like, I'm the daughter-in-law. I don't know what I should do. I mean, I'm sometimes in such a position that actually I wanted to listen to Amarendra Prabhu's class and I had to go to their place. So I was feeling so terrible.
You are in Chicago, Mataji?
No. I'm not in Chicago. I mean, on YouTube, I was listening live class. Yeah, that's what. So I was like, yeah. So I feel so terrible when I do that. It's like, it's not that I like to do or I like to associate. It's like I'm forcing myself. So I was just trying to seek an answer. How do I, do what should I do?
See, if somehow because of being a daughter-in-law, you are, like you said in the beginning, we are forced to do certain things. It is required because we are in this human society and there are all these relationships and family dynamics that we have to deal with. Yeah. Then we should have sincere regret like you are having. I wanted to attend Amarendra Prabhu's class, but I had to go here, I had to go there. And just experiencing that burning sensation of regret that I missed out, you will get Krishna's mercy and you will get the fruit of actually attending the satsang. The gopis also, those who were not allowed to enter the Rasa Leela or go for the Rasa Leela, they burnt in separation from Krishna and they attend Krishna. So yes, we should also feel great separation from devotees. Srila Ramananda Rai says the greatest pain in this world is separation from the devotees of Krishna. So as far as possible, we should attend. And like I have seen one Mataji I know, she every Thursday she has a counseling meeting by her counselor on Zoom. So she's also housewife, and not everybody in the family is favorable for bhakti. So that meeting goes from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 10:30 every Thursday. And that is 1.5 hours she has taken permission from her family that I want this 1.5 hours for myself. Otherwise, I am available to all of you for all service 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. So she wakes up in the morning at 4 o'clock. 4:15 she is ready, and she chants from 4:15 to 6:15. From 6:15 she does some pranayam to keep her health good, some yogasana to keep her body healthy while listening to Hari Katha, and then she will take a bath, and she's ready by 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock she will start cooking, doing everything. So her family has a deal with her. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. you are ours. You are there for the family. But every Thursday from 9 to 10:30 she has taken permission that nobody will disturb. So she does her cooking and everything and keeps for the family that today you eat in my absence, and you wind up the kitchen, but everything is ready, everything is cooked, but I will be going. And she 8:30 she goes, puts on tilak, gets ready, whatever homework was there she does, and she's ready for the counseling meeting. And then 9 to 10:30 she sits happily. So like that. So we have to cut a deal with our family members that we need some protected time for Krishna consciousness, for some satsangs that will happen, and otherwise we are there to serve them, to take care of them, to associate with them. But it is a natural consequence of becoming a sincere devotee, Parima Mataji, that slowly all those who are not devotees, they will go away. They will go away, and all you will have left is devotee association, at least internally. Externally there may be relationships, but internally your heart will be only with devotees. Your heart will always be in Bhakti Sanga, in the association of devotees. So that is natural, Mataji. Try to minimize your non-devotee association and try to increase your devotee association. But we have to do it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful, basically answer. And Prabhuji, just one small question. While traveling, Prabhuji, sometimes you cannot chant loudly. So at that time, can we do Upamshu?
Yes, like, Upamshu. You can do always Upamshu. 16 rounds you should do Vachik if possible. You should do Vachik 16 rounds because Prabhupada liked that. We should chant loudly. And in Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, Srila Haridas Thakur also said we should chant loudly. So 16 rounds we should chant Vachik. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are serving.
You cannot chant loudly in the airplane.
But see, that is an exception that we are. So what you can do is you can put those earplugs. Then even if you do Upamshu, you are able to hear nicely.
Yeah. Okay. All
so
right.
You wear earplugs, and then your sound will be magnified through conduction. So even Upamshu will be audible. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. At least we should be able to hear. So like that you can chant. But we don't travel in Brahma Muhurta in airplanes every day, fortunately.
Yeah, it's not every day, but yeah, whenever we do. Whenever we do. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Asha Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Firstly, I would say that I'm not even a devotee because I don't consider myself as a devotee. I'm very new to Hare Krishna ISKCON. But before coming to ISKCON, 2 years before, I had done all the 3 principles out of the 4. Only the one which I didn't do was the chanting because I didn't know about that. So, but I had a fear, which was in my previous experience, that I was in a devotional group and there was a definition of old devotee and new devotee. And people used to project that definition towards me. So I used to really feel inferior because they used to do the deity workshops. They used to do a lot of rituals, which I really don't know. And I believe that today, because of the deeds or because of whatever I have done through this body in this birth or maybe previous births, I don't know, but I'm not even eligible to talk about God. I feel like that. But again, somewhere I feel that whatever I'm doing right, the 3 principles that I was following from the last 2 years, it was because of His grace. Because of Him, I was able to do something. Otherwise, I'm very small. I cannot do anything. So I don't know whether I'm carrying that fear here also, because that fear in the previous group took me away from that group. And but it didn't took me away from him. The connection that I had with the Lord was something that I cannot show up like Hanuman, Sri Hanuman did. I cannot show to the world. He knows what is my connection with him, and I'm happy with that. But sometimes, when you see this atmosphere of old devotee and new devotee separations, groups, they have their own groups. I'm from so-and-so place. I have been here for so many years. So it will take some time. So you're new. But my connection with Lord is very old. How is it new? Because that's what I feel from inside. I feel an emptiness. Sometimes I feel a voidness because he has left nothing for me. There is nothing for me to get attached to. I'm left all alone. I don't have anybody to talk to. So I talk to him. That relationship I have with him is something I cannot explain in words. But Prabhuji, it hurts sometimes. How do I get through it? Because there is a lot of voidness. I tell him that I'm not from this world. I know that. I'm not from this world. And I feel that emptiness. I feel that voidness. Sometimes I feel that, why am I here? What am I doing here? But I'm very bad in rituals and everything. I tell God that, Krishna, Lord Krishna, I'm very bad in doing rituals and everything, but I know that there is some connection that I have with you. And that is the only thing that is keeping me alive every day, Prabhuji. I'm depending completely on him. If I'm getting up in the morning, it's because of him. If I'm sleeping in the night, again, waking up in the morning, it's because of him. I don't have the capacity to do even the daily chores. I don't have the capacity to do. I cannot do without him. So I have that fear. I don't know if I'm carrying that fear, whether I'm going to face the same thing here. I don't know, Prabhuji, maybe it is my fear as a human body and mind. But the spirit soul's connection with him is something that keeps me alive again. And I also, when I sleep, as you said in the in today's class, before going to sleep, I listen to the Kirtan Mahamantra by Srila Prabhupada Swami. Every night I keep it beside me. I sleep because I believe that even when the body is sleeping, I want the spirit soul to be always lying on his lap. I don't want to get separated even for a second. So I do that, but I'm very bad in rituals and all kind of things. I'm fearing whether I will be, maybe I'm getting away from him if I don't do that. Or maybe I'm not a good devotee. There is a bad devotee, good devotee, or, something like that. So I don't want to fall into that category, or maybe it's a fear. So please help me, Prabhuji. Please guide me, because, this is the only, you can say that, the root of my existence is Lord Krishna. And, I cannot survive without that, because the tree cannot survive if the roots are not strong. So I know that I cannot survive if he is not there. So please guide me that I don't get that fear again. And even if it comes to me, it can happen, because it's a world, external world, it's a material world. There are different people in the different journeys. So it might happen, but just guide me. How can I face it?
Hare Krishna. Asha ji, thank you so much for opening your heart. You may not be good in rituals. You may not be good in ritual, but I can see you are very spiritual. And being spiritual is more important than the ritual. You should have Asha. You should have hope. Chantir avyartha kalatvam, viraktir mana shunyata, asha baddham samutkantha, namagane sadaruchi. A devotee is always asha baddha. Always be hopeful. Don't give up Asha. Don't give up hope. Always be hopeful that I will get Krishna. I will get Krishna. Yes,
why do I feel the voidness? Why do I feel the voidness? Why do I feel the emptiness? Why do I feel that I'm not from here? I don't want to be here. It's not that I want to give up life or anything, but I want him. That is true. But I feel very void. I feel very empty. I don't know why, because I don't know. I don't have words to put the feeling.
Yes, I will tell you why you feel the void. In our life, in our heart, we are filled with material things. We are filled with material relationships, material ambitions, material aspirations. But because you are spiritual, you don't identify yourself with those material aspirations, with those material desires, with those materialistic activities. So you have removed them from your heart. And therefore now there is emptiness in your heart. So all you have to do is now fill your heart with positive things, positive devotee association, sweet Krishna Katha, sweet Krishna Kirtan, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Hari Nam Bhajan, Shastra Swadhyay, eating Krishna Prasad, engaging in Thakurji's puja and seva. You fill your heart, which is empty, which is void, because you have removed material things. You don't have taste for a materialistic way of life. And that is very good, Ashaji. So now all you have to do, you have a void there. Yes, there is a void, emptiness. You fill that emptiness with positive Krishna consciousness. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Navavida Bhakti, as we were discussing. You fill it with that. And you be in touch with Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. You be in touch with Preeti Vilasini Mataji. You be in touch with Kirtida Sundari Mataji. You write down these three names: Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, and Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Are you based in US?
No, I'm in Canada.
You are in Canada, huh? So we are the same continent.
Lalitangi Mataji is there. Lalitangi Radha Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Lalitangi Radha Mataji is in Toronto now. Correct?
Yeah, I know her.
Yes, so you be in touch with these four Matajis: Lalitangi Radha Mataji and the three Matajis that I mentioned. They are non-judgmental, they are very loving, they are very caring, and they are advanced devotees. And they don't discriminate like this between so-called new and old. Jivera Swarupaya Krishna Nityadas. We are all Nityadas of Krishna. We are all eternal servants of Krishna. So what is the question of junior and senior? No. All this is not there. Everybody is welcome in Krishna consciousness, and our service to each other is to encourage each other, not to discourage each other. I will say one more thing, Ashaji. Remember the example of penguins. When it gets very cold, the penguins, they huddle together. By huddling together, there is collective warmth, and they are able to survive the cold night. But when they huddle close together, their sharp quills, they prick each other. Some penguins get irritated by that, and they leave the group, and they decide to spend the cold night alone. And in the morning, they are dead because of hypothermia. But not penguins, the porcupines. So the porcupines who decide to stay together, tolerating the painful, sharp pricks of the quills, but they remain huddled together, the porcupines, even though it is uncomfortable, they survive the night. Similarly, Ashaji, this material world is a very cold and dangerous place. When we come in the association of devotees, we feel the warmth of Krishna consciousness, and we are protected, and we will survive. We will get Krishna, definitely. Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva naam sankirtan dui kar shigra pabe Shri Krishna charan. Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu says, be in the association of devotees and serve the devotees, and with your mouth chant Hare Krishna. 100% you will get Krishna in this lifetime. Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva naam sankirtan dui kar shigra pabe Shri Krishna charan. So remember the example of the penguins, of the porcupines, beg your pardon, porcupines. It may be uncomfortable to be with devotees sometimes because of their lack of Vaishnava behavior. Everybody cannot have Vaishnava behavior. Everybody cannot be an emblem of Vaishnava etiquettes like Srila Sanatana Goswami. Tathapi bhaktera swabhav maryada rakshan maryada palana hai sadhura bhushan. You have to keep hearing about Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, so that we also develop those saintly qualities, Vaishnava etiquettes. But if some devotees are not practicing Vaishnava etiquettes, it may be uncomfortable being around them, like being around the porcupines whose quills prick. But we need that warmth. Without that warmth, we will die. Our Krishna bhakti will go away. The voidness in the heart will increase. So even if there is some disappointment as far as the behavior is concerned from Krishna's devotees, tolerate it. Tolerate it, please, like the porcupines, and seek positive association. Lalitangi Radha Mataji, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Priti Vilasini Mataji, Kirtita Sundari Mataji, they are like sisters to you. You be in their association, they will nicely guide you and help you make more and more advancement. We all need each other. I have also surrounded myself with such loving friends, and I depend on them. Sometimes there will be some difference of opinion and some quills prick, but we tolerate. Because away from devotee association, it is very cold out there. It's a cold, dark world. We don't want that. We want to be huddled together with devotees, tolerating some discomfort. But we need devotees. We need each other. So stay in Bhakti Sanga, and everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. It's very good that we shed tears for Krishna. Iti gopya pragayantyah pralapantyasya chitradha rurudhu suswaram rajan Krishna darshana lalasa. You are crying because you want Krishna in your life, and Krishna will accept you. Tasa mavirbu shauri smayamana mukhambuja pitambara dharasragvi sakshan manmatha. Madan Mohan will accept you. You don't worry. Radharani will shower full blessings on you. Just be hopeful, be ashabadha, and be in the association of devotees and chant Hare Krishna. Everything will happen in due course of time.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. My hope is also Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Okay, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji.
Yeah, but there is one question. I think it's Preeti Vilasni Mataji is asking that question in the chat. Why should not pure devotees have diseases or setbacks? Pure devotion need not to be related to being perfect materially, right?
There is nothing like materially perfect. Material world means dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Material world means anityam asukham lokam. So there is no material perfection. There is only illusion of material perfection. Everybody is suffering in this world, and devotees also suffer because devotees are in the material world physically. So they don't identify with this world, but they are in the material world. All the swimmers in the swimming pool are going to get wet. Even if you know how to swim, you are still going to get wet. And those who don't know how to swim, they also get wet. Materialists are people who don't know how to swim. They get wet. Devotees also get wet, but the difference is devotees know how to swim across the water body. So devotees will swim across because they have Krishna. So there is nothing perfect in the material world. Everybody is getting wet. Everybody is imperfect. But for the devotees, it is very temporary and transient, because devotees are going to close their eyes here and they are going to open their eyes in Krishna Lok. They will open their eyes in Krishna Lok. And then they never have to come back to this material world. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva shasi. We go to Krishna and then we don't have to come back. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That is the difference between materialists and devotees, spiritualists. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes.